Okay, hello everyone. Can you see the slide right now? Just checking. Thank you. All right. So you're attending to the Parents on the Mission, PALMS, and students who are parents swap joint event. I would say there are e-board members from SWAP. So our mission is to support all of you students who are in the parental role through our mentoring, coaching, and resources. So this event is our 5th event of this semester in the spring. We're very lucky to have invited our speaker today, our own TCC Wellness Counselor, Chad Mikell. So Chad, welcome.
Thank you, good to be here.
This event will be recorded and put on our TCC website, DEI website after the event. Also, if individuals who cannot attend this event would like to have the recording sent to you, please send me an email. So today's agenda is after our featured speaker, Chad, finish his part of talking, we will have a Q&A session allowing students to ask questions in front of the group. If we still have time left, we would create a classroom. I can assign you to a classroom to ask questions to Chad in privacy. Also, after I checked with Chad, there is a private walk-in link that he would show to this group. Your name will be entered into the prize drawing. We will notify the winners after checking enrollment status. So last is that if we have time left, the SWAP e-board, if you would like to meet briefly, we probably would not have too much time. And I know we just met in the meeting last event before spring break. So that's up to discussion. So again, welcome everybody. Next, I'm going to introduce Chad. So Chad is a licensed professional counselor, my colleague at TCC. So he's a counselor in the state of Oklahoma. Chad has been employed with TCC since September of 2019. Prior to TCC, the vast majority of Chad's professional experience is in the field of mental health, involves working with family and adolescents. All currently enrolled students are able to meet with Chad for 5 free counseling sessions throughout the academic year. He can be reached through his email here, highlighted, or by phone at 918-595-7569. Chad will be talking to us about the resources available through wellness services today, his perspective on mental health and how counseling services can benefit your overall well-being. Last semester, we have invited Chad to speak to our group, and the feedback is very good, and everybody liked to hear what he speaks. And we had medication with him, so a lot of parents really has received. We have received positive feedbacks from Mikell's session with Mikell. So again, that's welcome, Mikell. Okay, I'm sorry. Before we move on to the speaker, then I would like to share a few other things to our participants in case you miss this information. We have 3 more sessions this semester. April 6th and 20th, May 4th is our final session of this semester, is for our graduation. We will also have speakers for each session. So please check out the email, and please make sure to write down these dates because we meet twice twice a month. So we will have meetings with the e-board, and students are welcome to participate in the discussions on the graduation, how we're going to prepare for that. We will have prizes and different things for each event. So again, the funding is from the Oklahoma Women's Foundation and the TCC Foundation. So next session, next is that we also have posted all the past recordings, including the last session with Chad, our counselor, on this TCC DEI website, our office website over here. So as you can see, this lists all the past events. So scroll down to, once you get on this page, scroll down to the bottom to see the recordings of past events. Again, I'd just like to remind you, if you are in the parental role and would like to check out a weekend bag that includes games and books, children's books, to help you spend quality time with your kids and your family, please come to our DEI office at Northeast room AB 206 to check them out. Okay, so last of all, this event would require you to do a little survey, and please feel free to do that at the end of the event. So next, I'm going to move on to give the floor to Chad. Oh, Chad, you're on mute, I think. Oh,
I always like to start my speeches by being on mute. I automatically sound smarter. It's just a little trick.
Oh.
Every time. Joy, can you make me a co-host, please, so I can share my screen? Oh, you've already done that. You're ahead of me. All right, thank you.
There's a delay.
Oh, is the audio a little slower,
Yeah.
a little bit?
Yeah, maybe on my side.
I'll try to mute and unmute myself again. I don't know if it's working or not, but.
Oh, Jonica, would you like to remind people about the sign-up process for prize drawing purposes?
Sure. Everyone, if you could please drop your T number in the chat. The T number helps us to record that you are here in our presence website. And it also allows us to enter you in for a drawing for our gift cards. Today's gift card, I believe, is for a $10 Quick Trip card. Is that correct?
Probably different because it's on that chart. Let me see. I'm going to. Yeah, it's different than the last time. We have 5 prize drawings, but we'll double check.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the budget planning that I gave you.
Okay.
It's 5 prizes. That's the only thing. You may be right. Let me double check.
And then if your first and last name is not shown on the screen, can you please include that in your when you write your T number, or you can PM it to Jazzy or myself. Jazzy is our Vice President of Students who are parents. She's the one waving. All right. With that, I hand the floor back over to, I guess, you, Chad.
Thank you, Jonica. Okay. Well, first of all, it's good to be here. I got to participate. I don't know, time seems irrelevant these days, but it was last year sometime, and so I appreciate it. I was unaware of this organization, so thank you for the invite, Joy, and thanks for keeping me up to speed with what's going on. I think it's very cool. I always appreciate an additional support system, an additional way to connect involving TCC. So today, I'm just going to share a little bit with you about what Wellness Services has to offer, and my bias is that I'm going to sort of focus on the counseling piece more than anything. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the counseling process, maybe my philosophy, and the potential benefits to you. So without further ado, let's get started here. I'm going to share my screen again. And maybe some of you are familiar with this, but my gut says most people probably aren't. And I'm probably going to do two things today. I'm probably going to inundate you with information, but hopefully you'll at least know where to go to find it or who to reach out to in case you want clarification on something. So just to get you to the Wellness Services page, if you've never traveled to our website before, all you have to do is click on the Student Resources link, and here we are, Student Wellness Services. And when you get here, you can kind of explore these 8 dimensions of wellness down. Well, here's an image showing what the 8 dimensions are. And then if you scroll down, you'll be able to access each of those dimensions. And by clicking on the drop-down menu, you're going to have exposure to a lot of different things for that particular dimension. So I encourage everybody to just spend a few minutes on that. Odds are you might go down a rabbit hole for a little bit, but that's not always a bad thing. And then I'm going to take you to some of these links on the left to better help you navigate this website, especially since it's had some upgrades or changes during the remote learning here. So the first one is counseling and resource coordination. And if you click on that link, you're going to see a picture of me with a shaved head, and it's going to give you my contact information. So if nothing else, just remember Wellness Services, go to the left and you'll find counseling and resource coordination, and you'll find a picture of Chad. If you scroll down a little bit further, you're going to see resource coordination. And resource coordination, it's different than counseling. Resource coordination is employed by Shatia Stevens, and her role is to sort of connect people with resources and the community that they might need, especially while we're continuing to go through difficult times related to COVID. If people are having housing insecurities, food insecurities, challenges with paying utilities, she is an excellent resource to make sure you get dialed in with somebody in the community that can help. Okay, I'm not going to say anything more about this right now because we'll come back to counseling here in a little bit. The other thing I want to make you aware of is the health promotion and education part of Wellness Services. And this is where we do a lot of college-wide programming designed to enhance your overall well-being, your overall wellness. And you really have 2 main contacts for this. Some of you may know them, some of you may not, but we have Randy Harold and we have Brittany Keene. And I'm pointing those out to you because they are in charge of every bit of wellness programming that we do, which offer, there's a pretty wide array, which we'll get to here in just a second. But if you want to get more involved, I would highly encourage you to email one of these 2 individuals. They're always looking for recruits. And to be quite honest with you, we always need student feedback on what's relevant, what's eye-catching, and what students are interested in. Okay, what else do I want to touch on right here? Nothing, I don't think. Let's talk about student involvement here. So again, Randy's contact information. Some of you may be familiar with SWAB and some of you may not be, but SWAB stands for the Student Wellness Advisory Board. They meet monthly and your job is simply that, to give feedback back to Wellness Services. You're kind of like the pulse, if you will, on what's going on with students here at TCC. You also get to have influence in some of the campaigns that we initiate and how we go about it. We also have wellness advocates who take a more active role in facilitating some of the programming that we do around campus. Right now, it's closed to volunteers because we only accept applications once a semester. And we're up and going this semester, as you all know. And then finally, we offer a scholarship for a peer health education program. And I think what everybody's most interested is right here. It's a $500 scholarship. Again, we're doing it once. We did it this fall semester, and we're waiting on a few things to get greenlit in terms of a grant that we're applying for right now. And we feel pretty optimistic about it. So if we get it, we'll continue to have these peer health educator programs offering those $500 scholarships. year. I'm sorry, every fall semester. All right, let's move along. So again, my bias is mental health resources and mental health in general. And if you click on the left-hand side again, you're going to find mental health resources. So if we do that, there are a couple things I want you to be aware of that I don't think a lot of students know exist. I am the mental health dude on TCC's campus, right? I'm the only mental health provider at TCC. There are other licensed professional counselors, but they're in other roles and they're not seeing students. And so there is a chance that you may not feel comfortable reaching out to me, and I certainly respect that. But I want you to know there are other resources that TCC has to offer when it comes to mental health. And the first one is this crisis text line, which used to be blasted everywhere on campus. But again, since remote learning, things have changed. All you have to do is text the word relief, which is a TCC keyword, to the number 741-741, and you're automatically speaking with a trained crisis counselor. You don't have to be in crisis, but if you are in crisis, we all know some people feel more comfortable texting than talking on the phone or talking in person. This is a resource for you 24/7. We also have the Student Assistance Program. Again, TCC pays for this, and it's available 24/7 as well. You can call this 1-800 number, and generally what they do is they try to get you connected with local resources that meet your needs, but they can also provide very limited video, phone, or in-person counseling to all TCC students. So it's another great resource. A lot of students aren't aware of it, but you should be. These are the things that you don't typically need, but when you need them, you want them immediately. We also have Find a Mental Health Provider. And this is something cool that's relatively new to TCC. This is another service that TCC paid for. It's called Thriving Campus. And here's the benefit. So let me back up just a little bit. I'm a free resource at TCC. There are numerous community resources, which we'll touch on, in which I can refer people to if they're looking for something specialized. But oftentimes, somebody wants to see somebody in private practice. A private practitioner. And that can get a little sticky because, first of all, there's hundreds of private practitioners in town. Secondly, none of them are cheap. And third, you don't necessarily know if they're going to accept your insurance if you're insured. So TCC pays for Thriving Campus. And when you click on this link, it's going to take you to the Thriving Campus page. And essentially, what you have is every private practitioner in Tulsa who has signed up to advertise on the TCC website. I believe there's close to 60 right now. But the beauty of this is, and I'm going to pick on Jassy because I can see Jassy's name on the screen right now. And Jassy comes to see me, and Jassy and I both agree that Jassy would like to seek an outside counselor. But we really don't know where to begin because Jassy's not interested in going to a community agency. So Jassy can come over here, and there's 76 particular practice areas that these people might specialize in. And she can pick a particular issue that she wants to focus on, and we'll just say addiction. And then Jassy can also say, I've got Aetna insurance, and I want to make sure that this provider accepts it. There's other things you can click on over here in terms of the filter. Just going to briefly scroll through on the left-hand side so you can see them. And then all Jassy has to do is go up here and click Apply. And the filter automatically lets Jassy know how many individuals meet her criteria. And it looks like Jassy would have roughly 5 individuals to pick from private practice that specialized in her area of need and also accepted her insurance. I would be willing to bet that 99.9% of students don't know this exists, and I would be willing to bet that 99% of TCC staff don't know this exists. So it's an excellent resource if you're trying to keep your counseling completely separate from anything associated with TCC. Again, I don't expect you to remember all this, but I do expect you to remember there was a way to find a private practice mental health provider. And if I just reach out to that dude, Chad, I bet he can remind me how to do that. And then the last thing on this page I want to show you is the local and national resources. These are all of the community resources that we typically refer to based on students' needs. If you're not familiar with COPES, they are a wonderful mobile crisis unit here in Tulsa that can assess anybody over the phone or meet you wherever you are to assess your safety or your needs. Counseling and Recovery Services is a wonderful community agency that does not require insurance. They have a grant paying for that. So if somebody feels like they're limited because they're not covered right now and therefore they can't get help, that is not the case. Again, I know you're not going to remember this, but I want you to know there are resources for uninsured individuals. And if you reach out to Chad, he can get us connected. I'm just going to scroll through these very quickly just so you can know some of our primary referral sources. Okay. I know this stuff is a little dry. We'll get to some stuff that's a little bit more creative, and I'll get to kind of ramble and be sporadic here. Another tab is alcohol and substance use and abuse resources. I shouldn't say this issue is taboo, but to some extent it can be a little bit more sensitive because of the stigma associated with it, which I hope is diminishing. But I also have to recognize that one still exists. We do have screeners on here, but most importantly, we have local resources. And again, I don't want anybody to ever resist reaching out for help because they think there's going to be limitations that disqualify them. There are plenty of resources for individuals that are uninsured. There's always somebody who can help. All right. Let's go back to the Student Wellness Services page. And Joy, this is what we were alluding to a little bit earlier. I'm going to share one more thing with you that absolutely nobody knows exists. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to see wellness service events. And you're going to see this thing that says, let's talk about you. It's cleverly hidden. It's difficult to get to. And we didn't really roll this out until we went into distance learning, sort of as a way to help students drop in, meet me, get questions answered. This was supposed to be kind of a happy medium because as I'm the only mental health counselor at TCC, when we were in person, I was bouncing around from campus to campus meeting with students. And therefore, I was never guaranteed to be in one single spot. And students couldn't just walk by, knock on the door, and expect to be seen. It just wasn't physically possible. So now that we've all become experts in Zoom, for better or worse, I think there's more better than worse than that. We've established these Let's Talk hours. And so basically what this is our virtual walk-in time. Every week, Wednesday and Thursday, Wednesdays from 1 to 2 p.m. and Thursdays from 11 to 12 p.m., I block out 1 hour and students can use this Zoom link, which never changes, and you can drop in for 10 to 15 minutes. And it's a way for you to do a number of things. It's a way for you to kind of dabble your toe in the waters of counseling. It's a way for you to maybe get some questions answered about the counseling process. It's a way for you to maybe get some referrals if you would like to seek help elsewhere, or you have a friend or a loved one who's in need of services. But either way, it's just supposed to be an opportunity for me to have an open door and be available to any student that wants to drop in. We'll come back to confidentiality in a second, but technically you do not have confidentiality, meaning by law, what we discuss has to stay with me. But from an ethical standpoint, any student that utilizes these Let's Talk hours, what we discuss with a very few exceptions, which we'll touch on a little bit later, what we discuss stays between us. So if you have questions, if you have concerns, if there's something you want to explore a little bit, I encourage you to drop in for Let's Talk. First one's tomorrow from 1 to 2. first one meeting after today. So again, students don't utilize this. Most of them don't know it exists. I encourage you to spread the word. And if you want to touch base with me for a few minutes to learn more about the counseling process, I am more than available. If I'm meeting with somebody else, you might have to wait for just a few minutes. But generally speaking, I'll be able to see you within 5 minutes or so. Again, let's talk. Let's talk about you. All right. I don't think I'm going to touch on anything else regarding the Wellness Services webpage, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, please. Now, once I can get my screen corrected here, I'm going to do a new share and touch base with you for just a few more minutes. So let's see what I can do here. Okay. Is everybody looking at a PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
All right. John, I see Jonica's thumb go up, so thank you. Again, this is just my contact information. I know Joy put it up on the screen, but in case you want to take a picture of it, and it's just background for me rambling here. So let me dive into something that I'm pretty passionate about. Let me dive into the counseling piece of what's offered at TCC, just in a little bit more detail and depth. So as Joy alluded to, every currently enrolled student at TCC has access to me for roughly 5 meetings, appointments, or sessions throughout the academic year. That basically means from August, when the fall semester starts, all the way through July 30th, if you're enrolled in all of the sessions. These sessions are 100%, I'm lying to you already. These sessions are 95% confidential with a few exceptions. And those exceptions all lead to your safety or the safety of somebody else. If that's ever in jeopardy, then by law, I'm obligated to break confidentiality in order to keep people safe. But as a general rule, the things we discuss, I am required to keep confidential. And I'm going to elaborate on this just a little bit to kind of hammer in the extent to which that confidentiality exists. We use a separate mental health electronic record keeping system. And the reason is because since you are seeing a medical provider, we are choosing to be HIPAA compliant. And the reason that's important to you is because anytime I document the fact that we made contact, it's totally separate from any of your TCC records. Meaning if Joy Betts looks you up, if financial aid looks you up, if an academic advisor looks you up, if a faculty member looks you up, there is nothing connecting your services, your counseling services at TCC to your TCC records. It's all completely confidential. I'd also like to touch on a little bit of flexibility here. So some students, we have 5 sessions together. And some students will come and they'll see me once, and then I won't hear from them again, or whatever the issue was, we get it mitigated, right? We get it lessened, we get it to a manageable extent. Some students choose to see me on a weekly basis or an every other week basis until they exhaust those 5 sessions. And then some students, they just want to reach out to me whenever it's convenient for them. The point is, you're in the driver's seat. As long as there aren't any safety issues or crises, again, meaning life or death, then you have complete autonomy in terms of if we see each other again, how often and when. You're in the driver's seat. The other thing I want to touch on is that there are times when some students may come to me and they may need what I would consider like a specialized level of care or maybe a higher level of care. And by that, I mean, sometimes students see me and whatever that particular issue is, maybe they would likely benefit more from long-term counseling. And we know that our limited time together may not suffice. Therefore, I might make a referral out into the community to fit that student's needs a little bit better. Or maybe a student is looking for medication and that's not something I can provide. So I get them connected with an MD, a psychiatrist or their primary care physician, and they can meet those needs. Or maybe a student, again, just has a specialized issue where ethically I know I'm not the one best suited to address whatever challenges this individual is facing right now. And so again, I refer out to the community to somebody, a low cost or no cost provider who can better meet those needs. But, and the big but is this, even if I refer out, it doesn't mean you're obligated to follow through with that referral. And it doesn't mean you can't continue to meet with me as long as you're a currently enrolled TCC student. I'm still your TC support. I'm still available to you. You just might also be seeing somebody else out in the community. So I hope all that makes sense. Let's press on here a little bit. So this is just kind of my philosophy on counseling. And I'm gonna start this off by saying something I say to a lot of students. When you come to counseling, I can almost give you a personal guarantee that you're going to enjoy the process. I can almost give you a 100% personal guarantee that you're going to laugh more than you are cry. Typically, students who come to see me experience a sense of relief. We might even get to experience a little bit of twisted humor in the counseling session, but as a general rule, students really seem to enjoy the process. And just to touch on my philosophy here, I kind of put these orientations on here just to describe my approach, my process. I'm insight oriented, which means I believe there's a tremendous amount of growth and change that occurs by an individual getting to know themselves better. I'm cognitive, feeling, behavioral oriented, which we'll come back to in just a second, but I'm also a big believer in an individual better understanding some of their thought processes and how that affects the way they feel, and consequently some of the behavior, the actions that they implement in their life, and then again, how that influences your thoughts. And I've said this to a lot of people, but your thoughts are the genesis for virtually everything that you do in existence. There is nothing you can do or experience that doesn't originate as a thought. It's kind of like your quote unquote God ability. You're the only one who has the ability to create your own thoughts. Things, circumstances, people can influence you, but at the end of the day, nobody's in charge of those thoughts but you. And some of you know this, some of you may not be quite as connected. Those thoughts are incredibly powerful. Those thoughts have the ability to make or break a day, a month, a year. Incredibly impactful. So if we can kind of grasp what we're thinking about, maybe empower ourselves to shift those things a little bit, become more aware, guaranteed to have different outcomes in life. There's no other possible outcome if we start changing our thought processes. And then finally, not finally, but growth oriented. There is nobody that comes to see me that is not growth oriented. I don't care if there are multiple deficits in your life that are creating challenges or obstacles. The moment you choose to reach out for help, you've already shifted to a growth oriented stage. Everybody that comes to see me is trying to make a positive change in their life to increase their well-being, to improve their well-being. And finally, this is a term some of you may or may not be familiar with, but I'm a big subscriber to positive psychology. And I say this a lot in session. My goal is not to be naive, but my goal is also to help you get a more accurate, complete picture of what might be transpiring in life. And you, me, we are all guilty of having a tendency to focus on the negative. It doesn't mean that the negative doesn't exist, but it's only a piece of the pie. It's not the complete picture. And so a large part of what I do is pointing out some of those attributes that maybe people have discredited or discarded or lost touch with in terms of how amazing they are and how much resiliency it's taken to overcome some of these issues. All right. So I'm just going to touch on this real quick. I've just got a few more slides, so bear with me. I appreciate your attention. Some of you are probably familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow is an American psychologist. He developed this hierarchy sometime in the 40s, but what it essentially does is it tiers or ranks our needs as human beings. And the first thing it touches on, our most basic need, is our physiological needs. If we don't take care of our physiological needs, the rest of this stuff is irrelevant. This is what it takes to survive, to exist. Food, water, clean air, right? They're essential to the human race sustaining itself. Once we graduate past the physiological needs, meaning those are secured, we move on to this tier of safety. Safety can be safety of our body. It can be safety in terms of our finances, safety in terms of shelter, our property, our family members, our health, right? They're not as basic to our survival, but they are essential in terms of our ability to sort of move on to the next level of desire or want in terms of being a human, which leads us to love and belonging, that sense of connection, meaningful connection, relationships, intimacy, a lack of isolation in whatever way is meaningful to you. And then we have this level of esteem, which talks about our personal self-esteem, our sense of accomplishment in life, our ability to live our life as we see fit, our ability to pursue things that are in line with our values, our abilities. And finally, last but not least, is the self-actualization stage. And I always equate this to sort of being like the icing on the cake, right? Like this is the fullest version of you. This is the most evolved version of you. This is the version of you that usually, if it takes place a little bit later in life, once we've got some gray hairs and wrinkles to solidify all that wisdom we've accrued over decades of being alive. But it is essentially you reaching your fullest potential. And I'm pointing this out to you, not to preach here, but to note that most people, although COVID has thrown us a curveball, most people have their most basic needs met. However, because of COVID, because of some of these international trying times, it's not uncommon for somebody to be in this section in terms of esteem, accomplishment, pursuing their own values. You're all college students, so you're all pursuing a path that kind of solidifies your future. But we might also simultaneously be struggling with meeting some of our basic needs, like food insecurities, or maintaining that essential safety in our life, like housing, for example, like being able to maintain our health right now, or maybe we've lost loved ones in our life because of COVID. Those safety factors could have been threatened. And I say all this to you because one of my goals in therapy is to join the student wherever they are in life. And that doesn't mean that they're confined to one of these categories. That might mean that they're bouncing all around. Or that might mean that they're in the process of solidifying the safety level, but they're also exploring what this sense of accomplishment means to them. What do they aspire to accomplish in life? They might also be exploring long-term goals in life, right? Like this self-actualization, this ideal stage. And they could be struggling with relationship issues, that sense of connectivity. We're all humans. We're all going to experience these stages. They're not mutually exclusive. And so I just want to be mindful that some of us, most of us, in general terms, but very unique personal experiences, have been humbled because some of the extenuating circumstances that have taken place over the past year. We're going to skip that. And then this is the cognitive triangle. This is what I alluded to earlier. This is where that kind of cognitive behavioral approach comes into play. And it's just a visual to kind of help you better grasp this. But as I said earlier, our thoughts are really the genesis of all feelings and actions that take place in our life. And when you couple thoughts with feelings and actions or behaviors, to a large extent, other than the things that are beyond our control, you have a better understanding of what has caused you to be where you are right now. And so this is also something that I tend to spend a lot of time on in therapy, because no matter what an individual is facing or going through or wants to focus on during our time together, 99 times out of 100, we're going to spend a little bit of time focusing on their thoughts and their perception of their life experiences. It's not to say individuals are wrong, it just might be a limited viewpoint. And if we can look at these thoughts in a little bit more accurate manner, we are guaranteed to shift the feelings that we might be experiencing. And once we do that, we are guaranteed to change some of the behaviors or the actions we are taking, which although they can't change our thoughts, they can certainly influence our thoughts. So this is an example of the cognitive triad, cognitive triangle. Okay, and then last but not least, I've said this about 50 times today, and it is true. Therapy is for people with problems. Therapy is for people with challenges. Therapy is for people who might be having emotional or mental health difficulties. But that is not the sole reason that therapy exists. Therapy, counseling is also available for people who just want to enhance their well-being. Therapy is available to people who want to allocate time and energy and resources to better understanding some of their experiences or their thought process. Therapy is for people who are growth-oriented or looking to make change in their life, period. Whether you're going through hardship or not, everybody can benefit from the growth process associated with therapy. I can't guarantee you outcomes, but what I can guarantee is that when you make yourself a priority and you carve out that time to focus on you, not in a selfish manner, but in a growth-oriented manner, you will experience change in your life. And then lastly, I just want to reiterate that everybody's in the driver's seat. There is nothing that I know about you that you didn't bring to the table. I am not an expert by any means, but what I will work very hard to do is to hear the words coming out of your mouth and help us make a meaningful connection in terms of what you might be lacking, what you might be searching for, or what you might need to develop more depth, appreciation, and fulfillment in life. So that's my spiel, everybody. I appreciate your time. Again, Chad Mikell, there's my email address and my office number, which gets forwarded to my cell now. You can also use the Tulsa CC/wellness email address to go straight to our site. But I encourage anybody to reach out if you have questions, concern, or if you just want to dabble your toe in the world of counseling. There's benefits for everybody, including me. So I appreciate it. Thanks for your time. And I'm going to stick around for a little bit in case there are questions or Joy wants to put me in a breakout room.
Thank you so much, Chad. So next we move on to the question and answer session.
I just want to say thank you, Chad. I appreciate you going over everything that is now offered on the website. I was not aware of some of those, so it's nice to see that. I liked the little triangle thing of wellness. So that was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonica. I appreciate it. I'll be honest with you. And I don't know, maybe this should go more public, but I'm not a big fan of our website. I don't think it's easy to navigate. I don't think it really pops. I don't think it's user-friendly. It's not intuitive. And so I just don't think people naturally stumble across these resources if they happen to be exploring one night. So one of my goals is to expose people to that website more often so they know how to access resources. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Does anybody have any questions for Chad at this point? I'm also glad to hear. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to add one comment. I think Jonica wins with the best head support pillow I've ever seen on Zoom. So thank you, Jonica.
It's very comfortable, right?
Yep. Yeah. No, it's important. Why not? Why not?
So I just, at this point, when everybody think about your question, I have posted in the chat box the survey, event survey, so please feel free to take on this survey. I also I'm very happy that we have a few new students attending at this session to know more about our TCC Wellness and what chat's resources, which is very helpful. And for me too, so I'm gonna spend more time exploring that. So everyone, please feel free to fill out that application. So while Chat was talking, I was able, when we are drawing closer to the end of this event, we have 5 prizes for each event from this point on. So we have 3 events left. And this is pending for our enrollment verification. I would talk with Jonica some more on this one. I have got 5 students who's the prize winners at this event. The first student is Kat Curtis. Kat, can you show us your face? Congratulations. Okay, the second student is, let's see, Timberlyn Davis. Timberlyn?
Yes.
Okay, congratulations, Timberlyn. So
Thank
you
you.
both, yes, thank you. So you saw my marketing email, correct?
Correct, I did.
Okay, great. So, and then the third student is Ronnie Hillard.
Hello.
Congratulations, Ronnie.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you for showing up again to this
Yeah,
event. Okay, the fourth student is Jessie Marie. Jessie?
That's me. Sorry.
All
that's
right,
my middle
congratulations, Jessie.
name. Thank you.
Okay, and the next student is, the last student is, did I say Ronnie? Okay, the last student is Jess Sadiva.
I'm here, but my webcam doesn't work.
Oh, okay, that's fine, that's fine. Everyone, please feel free to fill out the survey. And do you have any, yeah, so as we have talked about, if you have questions or if you would like to have an individual session with Chad, please make sure to fill out the, to go to the website or to contact him in person. And Jonica, would you like to say something? Jonica is our SWAP student president. So she has spent a lot of time, and then the e-board members, can you identify yourselves today?
Thank you, Joy. As Joy said, I'm the president, and Jazzy introduced herself earlier as our vice president. We do have a couple positions open on the executive board, so if you're interested, we do have those options available. Let's see. I know Danessa was talking about joining the executive board at one point of time. I don't know if we found you a position that you were interested in. Did we? I think you actually left the executive board leadership chat. But yeah, if you're interested, Jazzy, do you know what positions we still have open?
I know secretary is filled up. And
Yes.
because we did that last meeting, correct?
That's correct.
I have it in my notes, but no, I have to find my notes, but I can get back to you if that's okay.
Okay. What position would you be interested in, Kat? Whatever's open.
What's open?
let's see. I'm looking at our executive board team. Unfortunately, not everyone put their name by their position. Let's see. Do we have an events coordinator?
Was it, what's, trying to find her name. No, isn't that Brandy who was a event coordinator?
You're correct. It was Brandy. Let's see. I'll have to get back to you on that, Kat. Unfortunately, we've got some members on our executive board who just aren't really active. So we're trying to find people who are more active. So yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's
I'll
my,
put my email. Can me if
okay, that sounds good. Let's see, currently we have Sean Ross as our treasurer.
We have PR and secretary. And we have vice president and then president. I think that's really all we have.
Sorry,
I haven't heard
got
from
disconnected.
Andrea in a little bit. Have you?
Oh, nice to have you back, Kat.
Yeah, sorry, I got disconnected.
Yeah, your audio was going out for a moment there too. I wasn't sure if it was me or you.
I've already stopped the
Probably me.
recording.
It is probably mine. I do not have a good connection today.
Mm.
But I put my TCC email in the comments, so if you can email me if you find any positions and what it would be required of me. What would be.
Okay. All right, I will get with my executive team and we'll see what is still available. And I will get back to you as soon as we can. It'll probably be about Thursday or Friday when I get back to you. Is that okay?
That'd be great. Thank you.
And then would you want to be added to our group me as well? We have students who are parents group me. Are you in it already? You are?
I don't think so. Maybe I am. I've signed up, or is it Facebook? Or what kind of group is it?
Have you heard of group me? It's an app.
No.
Okay.
Oh, I think I've used it maybe from my kid's school, but yeah, I could definitely get it.
Here, I'll drop my phone number in the chat. If you want to text me, I can add you to it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I only know how to add people through their phone number. I know sometimes
Okay.
people can add other ways, but
Yeah, Jonica, I don't know how to do it any other ways.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
okay.
how to do it by phone number too.
That's where I'm pretty much at. I'm like, if I know the one way, that's good enough.
right.
I'm gonna text you right now. So
Awesome.
it's gonna be a 817 number because I'm from Texas. So
Oh, nice. What part of Texas?
I mean, I'm from Dallas, Texas. We moved here last year. So.
Okay.
Janica, do you remember I said the name Timberlin David?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
She was the second name you said.
Yes, Tamberlin, me?
Yes, Timberlin, yes. Okay, I couldn't see you, Timberlin.
Yeah, sorry, my camera's
Your
not.
phone, okay, great. So thank you, Janica, for the invite. So anybody can join that group to be an officer with Janica's, basically apply to Janica, apply with Janica.
And if you want to just be added to the students who are parents group me, send me a text message and I can add you to the students who are parents group me as well.
So Janica, I sent you, yeah, I'm not recording now. It's just a casual meeting between us. So I would resend you the ones with each event prize winners together with their planning. So we have, yeah, we have built in 5 prizes for the next event also. The next event I think I need to double check. Maybe Tisha and the Lonnie is the TCC resource, other TCC resource, or is it
for
the
April 20th? Ryan's coming for the April 6th meeting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I see. Right. Okay, I couldn't remember. So I need to, yeah, I need to look at my record there. It's on my desktop here. Yes, I typed it in after I emailed you spring break, but it's been a few days after. Yeah, I put it on there right after we talked.
Okay.
Let me see. Yes, Speaker Ryan talking about, so yeah, if you have that, the credit repair, that marketing verbiage, please send it to me.
I'll send him a text and ask him to send it to me so we can
Yeah, and then we'll still attach his bio there. That I have that. So it's just a short paragraph. What he's to describe what he's going to talk about. Yeah, and then April 20th is the TCC resources from the Accessibility Center and our DEI coaching and maybe NSLS. Yeah, Tisha. So so, and then the last one is our graduation. So we need to discuss a little more probably about our planning for our the rest of the awards and stuff. So I'll send that to you this week sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will be looking for it.
Yes. So any questions for our new members, Kat and Cumberland?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, Kat.
Oh, I don't have any.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so Jesse will be our note takers. Do you all need to submit to Student Life our meeting notes?
We do need to have it uploaded onto the Presence site.
Oh, okay. So Jesse is doing it.
Yeah. Let's see. We elected a new secretary last meeting.
Yes. Is she here today?
No, she is not.
Oh, okay. So she can watch a recording.
So it was Carly, wasn't it? Carly Jaggers. Okay.
Carly Johnson. Okay.
No, Jaggers. Jaggers.
Okay. All right.
It would be nice if we could have someone in charge of reminding everyone when our meetings were and making sure everyone knew to attend. That way we could have more of the executive board here.
Yeah.
So maybe we could create a co-chair for Brandy.
That would be good. I was thinking that too.
Something I might be good at. I'm pretty good at organizing.
Okay. So if you were to take this position, would you be able to create an invite in the group meet calendar, just kind of reminding us, being like, hey, we have our next meeting's April 6th. That way everyone got a reminder.
Send out a text to everybody and stuff beforehand. Yeah, I could do that. I could definitely do that.
Awesome. So how does everyone feel about having a co-chair for Brandy, first off, as an events coordinator?
Yes, I love that idea.
Is anyone opposed to the idea of having a co-chair? Okay, thank you. All right, next up, I would like to make a vote. Well, is anyone else interested in running as the co-chair as well? Bye, Vanessa. It was nice to have you here today.
Vanessa says, got to run. Okay. Well, see you, Vanessa. Thank you for coming.
All right. So is everyone, or who all is in favor of having Kat be our new co-chair for the events coordinator? All right, so that's 3 yes. Is
Thanks.
4 yes? Is
In
anyone
the chat
opposed?
box, we got a few yeses.
Okay, so is anyone opposed to having Kat be our new co-chair events coordinator? All right, seeing no one opposed, congratulations, you're the new co-chair for the events coordinator.
Yay. Also, Kat, if you need any help with like navigating GroupMe or anything, you can shoot me a text as well. I'll give you my number.
Okay, thank you, Jesse.
I might be a little slow though.
Is-
I had my nephew drop my phone in the toilet, so it's super slow right now.
So Kat,
but here's
Hi,
my
Ronnie. I'm
number.
glad you could make it today.
Thank you.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. See you Thursday.
Right, I think so. I got you my calendar.
yeah,
Okay.
we're working on all the prices. Nobody has been paid yet. So I'm gonna work with our director and swap e-board, pushing that forward.
Okay. All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Congratulations again.
Hi,
Thank
Ronnie.
you.
Thank you for
Ronnie.
attending.
Bye.
So are meetings always the same time? Like it's always the same day and time, twice a month?
Well, not really twice a month, but kind of. It's every other Tuesday.
Every other Tuesday
Mhm.
at 1 o'clock or 2? Yeah,
Same
1 from
link.
1 to 2
Yeah, same
1
Zoom
o'clock.
link. Mhm.
Tuesday. Okay, I'm gonna write this down real fast and then I'll just be able to send out reminders after you guys help me set up who all needs to be reminded.
Okay. I am actually I'm inviting you to the executive board group meeting now as well. So you
All
are
right.
now a member of the executive board and the member board.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Kempling, for coming. She said, bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you for joining. I replied to your text message and I have you added in our members group me now too.
Okay, thank you. Thanks so much, everyone. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right.
Congratulations for winning today.
Thank you guys.
Yay.
Bye.
All right. Take care.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
So
guys.
Janica and Jesse,
Oh, Kat left
I
too.
checked the enrollment. Now, did you send me the 5 winners from last event?
Remember
No, last event,
after-
everybody are winners,
Yes.
right? Yeah, I subtract that from the total balance. So I need to give you that total. I think based on my last counting was a little bit over 2,000. For some reason, my calculator messed up. At the initial, I don't know if you have verified that with your calculator. So I just made sure with my phone and everything.
I did not double check it.
Okay, yeah, it's
That
around
was
2,000. It
Sean.
could be a little like $20. So yeah, that's a big project. We need to push it forward. Number one, the foundation person, Megan, she's on with the chapter. I don't know what the win is planned, but I think we need to work together, you and your e-board and me. I need to push the processing time, because otherwise, if what he said, did you receive his email, the Wynn's email about the math tutor he just sent a group large email to that with the TCC academic coaching email.
Was it
I
today?
received it. Yeah, today. I can forward it to both of you.
I
Yeah,
don't
he just, yeah.
think I
I-
received one from today. I
Okay.
received one the week of, or the week before spring break, and he was
Mhm.
calling me Jessica. I didn't reply.
Oh.
So I
What does he, oh, he talked about the math tutor?
no, he
No.
was talking about something else. Oh,
Oh,
he
okay.
wanted me to find different resources.
Mhm.
He wanted me to recruit members to help be different resource coordinators for stuff. And I told him right now we just don't have the people to do all the stuff he's
Yeah,
wanting to do.
yeah, it's too much work. I know.
Also, I am not receiving like any emails from
Really?
Swap.
Oh, that's
I
not good.
mean, yeah,
we
so
lo-
I don't know what's, I checked my spam too. I mean, I'm getting the
Uh-huh.
Shrito messages, but for the last 3 weeks, I don't think I've been getting any.
Have you before?
Yeah, before I have, so it's
Okay.
weird.
That's, yeah, that, I don't know. It's a server problem. How about Jonica? Did you receive any?
Now I've been having issues with my mail today too.
Oh,
So
that's probably
I don't
why
know
we
if it
lost
was-
a lot of people. That reminds me that I would probably need to send more in advance for the last event, because we need to recruit. Yeah, any good ideas about that last event?
What about the last event?
It's the graduation. We need
Oh,
to
that
plan
one.
that. So what's the best time? Maybe you can ask some feedbacks from GroupMe. So yeah, maybe that's a good start. What would student need for this, for the graduation? I have sent an email to the speaker, Mary Worker, but she hasn't responded. So I need to follow up with her on the talking. What would you like to hear her speak?
I don't really know.
Okay, so it would be the regular stuff, just to inspire the students. Okay, so yeah, so I let me see. Does Jessie has the record of who were the past winners this semester? Or
No,
does
I don't.
Jonica? Okay, I need to then go out to each email. Jonica, you probably send it to me.
I don't have them for each meeting.
Mhm.
Not, I don't have
Okay.
them for last semester.
Okay.
I do have, I sent you one for
The recent.
February 9th. I emailed you that one. I'm emailing you March 15th right now.
Okay, March 15 and that one. Okay, that's great. And then I'll put it on that table, and then we'll just fill in. I can check on that, because I remember, yeah, I have some record in there. I just need to organize. That's a lot of logistics. Also, I'm coordinating. There's in downtown on Friday, there is a protest for Stop Asian Hate event at the Center of Universe. So did you all receive that email notice for event?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did receive something about it. I didn't realize it was at the Center of the Universe. I thought it was a Zoom meeting though.
Oh, maybe that's another one you receive. I think Nate is trying to, yeah, coordinate a forum for that. So that could be different, yeah. Yeah, I think this is also the focus. Do you have any thoughts about how we can comply with the March and April deadline for this item to be distributed? We need to design it.
I honestly don't know what Dr. Dickens wants us to spend the money on. I tried to get a defined answer, because he kept saying the money had to be sent in a certain manner. Well, what was that manner? I don't know what the application says.
What do you mean?
As in the money when he put in the application for the funds, he said it was going to be spent in a certain way, and that was the only way
What?
that he could spend the money.
Well, that's not good.
So
Well,
I'm not
that's
sure.
more
Like,
complicated. Okay.
to
He
me,
didn't tell me anything. He didn't tell me anything.
it sounded like he was going to be the one to determine what was going to happen. So
Well,
So do we need ideas for this? Is what I'm kind of confused. I
mhm.
don't know. So are we, for the money that's left over, are we looking forward to spending it for like graduation? Is that what this money is for? Or is it just for the rest of the semester?
Janica?
I
Okay.
No, that's initially that's my thought, because then he said that it needs to be, he's one of the administrator, and obviously he's bypassing me. That's a problem with me, because I am coordinating this. If he's bypassing, then that means the TCC Foundation is bypassed. They do not, this process needs to be a clear process instead of
Yeah.
just one person operation. Don't you all
Also-
agree?
Yes, I do agree with you, Joy. Also,
Because-
Jonica. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry, Joy. You can go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. It's hard to talk on Zoom sometimes.
No, that's good. You're good.
Jonica, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he say in our March 9th meeting that the money had to be like in April or something? Like we had to like prepare something big? Didn't that's what he said?
yeah.
Okay. Because I've been trying to think of ideas, but we're on Zoom, and so it's gonna be difficult to find ways to
So-
distribute that money properly.
Right.
Well,
So
he said we had to spend the money on food. He said so much of the budget was for food, so much was for decoration. How can we do that on thing?
yes. So he has his own agenda, but that won't work, because based on my experience with how we present this funding, it needs to have a coworker like role like me to be in there to actually organize the spending, because the foundation needs to be copied every step. It needs to be a democratic, clear, and then also the students' voice needs to be heard in this, because you are an organization. So, so what I suggest is this, that we talk about it, me and the e-board would talk about it, and then we make a plan, and then you kind of put it in writing and then send it to Dwayne and the dean, Nate, and then the foundation lady, Megan, and me. So this way we're all copied, that's your voice. And I already gave you the foundation outline that he wrote. Just because he wrote it doesn't mean that he can just one single-handed process. The school will not approve that. So what's going to happen is that if we don't do it this way, you will not get nothing. I'm afraid of this. So did he try to approach you just for
Hey,
this?
Joy, I've got to go.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it. So can we talk about some more tomorrow? Okay, so what time is good for you, Jessie?
Tomorrow is Wednesday, correct?
Wednesday, okay.
Okay, I get out of class at 11. I can do any time after that.
Okay, all right. So yeah, we need to get together again.
Yes.
I'm trying to help in this picture. It's very
Yes, no, I understand, Joy. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm just confused as well. So I feel
Yeah.
bad because I don't know what's going on. So I
Yeah.
apologize if I'm no help, but I will get
No, you're doing good. Yeah.
I will get you the Excel sheet back to you as soon as we get out of the meeting. I'm
Okay.
just gonna
Yeah.
Is
no
my
problem.
format okay that I've been sending
Yeah,
you for the
it's
Excel
good.
sheets?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I was just making
During
sure.
spring break, I'm a little laid back, didn't check it. So thank you for
All right,
that. I
thank
think
you.
you sent me something, right?
Yes, I did. It was
yeah.
the attendance for March 9th. I apologize. I went moving and I had spring break and so I was busy all week
Yeah.
trying to unpack my house. So
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. All right,
Thank
I'll
you.
try to talk to Dwayne also and see what is he going to do, because looks like he had a conversation with Jonica on something, which is behind me. I have no idea what he's doing. So, but the thing is that I believe that's my responsibility and obligation to assist the students in allocating the funding.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we promised, for example, the winners of a prize, and he cannot bypass it by not paying. And that's my problem with that.
Yeah.
We cannot go, so it doesn't. So sorry to bring you into this, but
No,
we'll
you're
talk some
fine.
more.
I'm happy to help anytime.
great.
Just
Okay.
let me know a time and me, you, and Jonathan can meet up.
Yes,
And we
let's
can all
first
talk.
meet, and then there will be writings, there will be voting coming out from your group, and then copy it to me, because I'm coordinating, I'm trying to help you guys. And if I could, whenever I could help, I'll do. But
Yes.
in Dwayne's mind, he's trying to do the top down, but that won't work. Just because somebody wrote it doesn't mean that they're able to allocate it fairly.
Yes, ma'am.
And he's not with our event, so I don't know where he is. So
Yes, no, I understand.
Yeah.
I've been confused for the last 2 meetings with
Mhm.
the funding.
yeah,
So I want to get it straightened out as well, because I
Yeah.
can't do my part if I'm not
Mhm.
understanding
yeah.
what's going
So
on.
this is caused by the confusion of I think the new structure. I think part of
Yeah.
that. So thank you for being patient.
Oh, no, you're fine. All right, Joy, I'll see you later.
All right, I'll text Jonica and see what time would be good in the
Yes,
afternoon, right?
I'm free
Sometime.
after 11. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I'm free after 1 tomorrow. I have a
Okay.
trio meeting.
After
I'm so
one,
sorry.
that's fine. Okay.
Thank
After-
you. I'm so sorry I forgot.
No problem. Have a good day.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.